Hello, happy Thursday. Welcome to Exercise at Exos. Coach Jazzy here, and today we have a workout. So today we're going to do 3 rounds. We are going to do 45-15 today. 6 movements. No equipment is needed. We just need enough space to move side to side as well as be on our hands and our toes. I'm going to go ahead real quick, get into some demos, and then we'll get right into the circuit. So starting off, no, I just put my hand on something. Ew, I don't know what that is. Okay, starting off, we're going to do 3 squats and then 3 pulses. So feet hip width apart. We're doing 3 full squats. We got 1, 2, and I'm going to act like I did 3. And then we're going to do 3 pulses. So 1, 2, 3, and then back into our full squat. So that is movement number 1. Movement number 2, we're going to do plank arm raises. So you can either be on your hands and knees or your hands and toes. And we're going to lift one arm at a time, keeping our hips pointed towards the ground. And then movement number 3, we're going to do a reverse lunge with rotation. A lot of R's there. So we're stepping back, inhale, open up, exhale, back, stand up. So it's 3 separate parts. So we have part 1, step back. Part 2, we rotate. Oh, sorry, it's 4 parts. Step 3, rotate back, and then step 4, stand up. So 4 steps there. Next movement, we're going to do an inchworm with a push-up. So coming down, hips back, walk your hands out onto our push-up, and then you can either walk your hands or your feet. I recommend doing the feet today because we're going to do some narrow push-ups next. So going to get a lot of arm work back to back there. So next up, narrow push-up. So for the narrow push-up, our hands are going to be closer than hip width or closer than shoulder width. So normally they're here. Going to be a little bit closer. Elbows stay as tight as we can the whole time. So from this angle here, hands are closer together. Elbows stay in all the way down, pushing back up. So that is the narrow push-up. And then last but not least, we're going to do a moving lateral lunge. So we're going to start in on one side of our space, stepping out, and then pushing through our foot, stepping back up. And depending on how much space you have, you can do 1 in each direction, 2, 3, 4, whatever you have space for. So that is our whole circuit today. So we're going to go ahead and start with the world's greatest stretch to get into our warm-up. So we're going to interlace our fingers, grab onto one of our knees, pulling towards our chest. And exhale, step back, reverse lunge. Hands coming down on the inside of our front foot. Back leg stays nice and straight. Nice big deep inhale. And exhale, opening up towards the ceiling, looking past our hand. Thumb is facing behind us. And we're going to exhale, plant outside of our front foot. Bring our back foot a little bit closer, pushing our hips up into our hamstring stretch. And let's go ahead and exhale. Bring our feet together, push the ground away, and stand on up. All right, next leg, other leg, so same thing. Interlace our fingers, grabbing onto our knee, pulling towards our chest. And we're going to exhale, step back, reverse lunge. Hands coming down on the inside of our front foot. Back leg stays nice and straight. Nice big deep inhale. And exhale, opening up towards the ceiling, looking past our hand. Thumb facing behind us, getting that nice rotation in. And we're going to exhale, plant outside of our front foot. Bring our back foot a little bit closer, push our hips up into our hamstring stretch. And we're going to go ahead and exhale, bring our feet together, push the ground away, and stand on up. All right. Last part here, we're going to do some plank to pike. So coming down onto our mat, hands and toes, and Pushing up into our down dog position. I'm gonna do a quick pedal of the heels. And then let's go ahead and come back to plank. We're gonna do 3 quick ones here coming up. Back down, 2 more coming up. And down, and last one coming on up. And when you're ready, we'll go ahead and walk our hands towards our feet. And slowly stand on up. And we are ready to rock and roll. So, grab that from over here. Notice I left my badge over there, and I'm gonna forget that if I don't grab it. So, we are gonna do 3 rounds here. We are starting off with our squats. We have 3 squats, 3 squat pulses, 45, 15. Timer is getting ready here in 3, 2, 1, and go. So 3 full squats, 3 pulses. So regular squats here, feet hip width apart, knees going over our second toe, chest stays in the center, chest is open, core is engaged. Inhale down, exhale up. Feel like I'm moving super slow today. It took me that long to do 3. And then after the 3, we're doing 3 pulses. So 3 small movements in the bottom half of the squat. So we want to stay from our halfway point to the bottom for the pulse. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. All right, next up, plank. Arm raises. Either knees or toes. 3, 2, 1. All right. So if you're on your toes, I recommend having a nice wide base. But if you feel when you reach up, if your hips, that was a little bit over exaggerated, if your hips are moving back and forth, go ahead, drop to your knees. I know I definitely like to do it personally better on my knees because I feel it more. I feel my core is engaged more, but I also feel like I can move a little slower and focus on my shoulder stability as well, really engaging my shoulder muscles a little bit more purposely. So as always, whatever feels good for you today. 3, 2, 1. All right, next up we have reverse lunge with rotation. So remembering it is a 4-part lunge. 3, 2, 1. So starting in the top of our space, stepping back, step 1. Step 2, we rotate towards our front leg. Step 3, exhale, use your core. Step 4, standing all the way up. So it's separate parts. We want to complete each step before we move on to the next. We don't want to step back and rotate and step up and rotate all at the same time because 1, we're going to move too quickly. And 2, we're not being purposeful on the rotation as we rotate out. As we rotate out and rotate back in, I want us to really exhale, breathe through our straw, bring our core together because that's going to help our rotation, our rotary movement be stronger. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right. Next up, we have inchworm with a push-up. So you can either walk your hands or walk your feet back. 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh, I feel like my knees just cracked like 4 times in a row. Okay. So as we push our hips back into our inchworm, we want to keep our back nice and flat. So our core is engaged, shoulder blades pull down and back. Walking out. 1 push-up. And either your feet or your hands walking back in. Now we're going to go back the other direction. A true inchworm, if you do have more space than what I have here, a true inchworm, you would walk your feet back and then walk your hands forward. So it was going to look more like, actually, we're going to run out of time, but it would look like this. 3, 2, 1. But if I were to keep going, it would look like that. So it literally would be like an actual inchworm, but I don't have room for that. So anyways, narrow push-ups are next. 3, 2, 1. So Either hands and knees or hands and toes. Hands are closer. Elbows, there goes my knee again. Elbows stay as close to our body as we can. Everything else stays the same. So this one, we are going to feel in our triceps and our shoulders a little bit more than we do with a regular one. Because a regular one, right, we're coming out like this and pushing up for our chest. But this one, we're staying narrow and doing the same thing. But as we push the ground away, we're going to use our triceps a lot more than with our regular push-up. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right. Last and not least, moving lateral lunge. And then we got 2 more rounds to go. So choosing your side you want to start with. 3, 2, 1. All right. So we are stepping out, pushing through our whole foot, heel big toe, little toe, driving through. We're going to feel that in our quads and our glutes. And we want to make sure that we're stepping out far enough. I see this a lot with lateral squats as well, that we don't step out far enough and our knee is way too far past our foot. We want to step out enough where as our knee comes out over our second toe, our chest is still over our foot, our knee is still over our foot as well. So that's going to give us the stability and strength to push up versus stepping too close and being here and wondering why our knees hurt. 3, 2, 1. All right. 1 round down, 2 to go. Squat and squat pulses. So 3 and 3. 3, 2, 1. All right. I'm going to start with my pulses this time. You can do whatever feels good. The last time my squats were taking me too long, I did not pulse. I think I pulsed like 1 time. So I'm starting with that so that way I can maybe do it 2 to 3 times, but I like to take my squats slow. As y'all know, I like to really focus, make sure I'm using my glutes and I'm not using my back or my hips too much. I always tend to go a little slower. But again, as always, doing whatever feels good for you. We have 3 squats, 3 pulses. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. All right, up next, plank arm raises. I didn't fully say this at the beginning. All right, 3, 2, 1. But we are spelling out spring today. It's kind of hot, right? But we're spelling out spring if you didn't notice. I know the G, a little off, but I couldn't think of anything except for glute bridges, and we did those yesterday. So we're doing the moving lateral lunge for the G. But it's that time of the year. It's sunny today. It feels good. The day is getting lighter earlier. So it's almost springtime. Our clocks are changing on Saturday. It's a great time. We're springing forward. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. All right. Reverse lunge with rotation, double R for the spring. But our 4 steps here. 3, 2, 1. So as always with lunges, making sure we're stepping on our railroad tracks as we step back. Open, close, push, other side, same thing. Inhale, exhale, using our core. So we're here, breathe through our straw, ribs come down and together. That's what's going to really drive home that core and the rotations. We should only use our core to rotate. We don't want to use momentum. If I hear one more body part crack, so cracky today. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, we got inchworms with push-up, narrow push-up, moving lateral lunge, and then we got 1 more round. Getting ready here. 3, 2, 1. But as I was saying last time, I'm gonna step back a little bit. A true inchworm, we would come down, walking out, be on my knees for that one. There we go. We would come up, walk our feet in, and then immediately walk our hands out. So that is that true inchworm. If you have the space, feel free to do that. As always, whatever suits you well today, whatever feels good. But if you do have that space, that's going to give you just a little bit extra shoulder work for you. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, last 2 movements, narrow push-ups. So hands are here. They're here, they're close. 3, 2, 1. If you would like, and it feels better, you can always do the diamond push-up, which basically gives us the same thing, but your hands are in a diamond on the ground, and then you come down and up. So it basically is the same thing. I personally don't like that way because it puts too much pressure for me on my elbows. If you want to try it and it feels good, go for it. If you want to try it and you're like, yeah, I'm with Jazzy, I'm going to do it that other way. As always, do what you must to get your workout done. Whatever feels good. 3, 2, 1. All right. Awesome. Last but not least, moving lateral lunge. Oh, I feel like we missed something because that went by really quickly, but we didn't. I actually haven't missed anything today. 3, 2, 1. Here I am talking to myself. I think I've had a little bit too much caffeine today. And a little too little sleep. That is okay. Hopefully, just talking to myself. Anyways, we're stepping out. Again, making sure we step far enough, but not too far that we hurt ourselves, right? So finding that Goldilocks step distance. Because what feels good for me won't feel good for you. And our distances are going to be different, but the concept is the same, right? That we're stepping out, so our knees forward, our hips are back, our knees right over our second toe, just like with a regular lunge. 3, 2, 1. All right, last round. Coming on up, I almost went to the ground. We have squats and pulses. 3, 2, 1. All right, last round, best round. You know, sometimes we can get a little tired. I know, definitely tired, but we got this. We're finishing strong. But as I was saying earlier, you can start with your pulses or your squats, whatever feels good. My hip is not feeling good. So I need to take that a little slower. Great job. 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're done with those. Plank arm raises next. 3, 2, 1. All right. Using our core here. As always, it does help to exhale as we go lift our arm up. As we exhale, breathing down and together through our straw. That's going to help the core be engaged. So we want to do that as we are lifting our arm up. Three, 2, 1. Perfect. All right, we're done with those. We have reverse lunges next. With rotation, I need some water. All right. 3, 2, one. All right, same as last time. We step, we inhale, we rotate, exhale, and step up. So remembering, I feel like those last two steps are the most easy to combine. So we really want to make sure that we rotate first and then push up. So that way we use the core and the glutes versus just our momentum. Because I feel like it's really easy to kind of like come up together. And that's just too much momentum. So I want to be nice, slow, controlled. Coming on up. Using our glutes. 3, 2, 1. All right. Done with those. We have inchworm with our push-up next. 3, 2, 1. All right. We got this. I don't know why these movements are not feeling the best for me today, but we're doing great. All right. Lots of upper body in this last half of the circuit. Doing push-ups with push-ups. Never easy, but we're doing awesome today. Nailed it. Let's try and get one more in here. 3, 2, 1. Awesome. All right, done with those. We have push-ups and our moving lateral lunges. Now we're gonna cool down real quick and be done. 3, 2, 1. The last workout of the week, last boot camp. We have one more virtual class, one more on-site class, and then we're done with classes for the week. So finishing strong here. You need to reset. This one is about mental toughness here. I know I'm trying to dig it out of myself too, but we got this. I'm sure y'all are doing better than I am on this. We got it. We got it. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last movement of the day. We got this. Moving lateral lunges. 3, 2, 1. And last movement. We got it. Should have started the other way because this hip is the one that's not feeling so good. We're finishing strong here. Doing as many as we can in each direction. Making sure we're pushing through our foot. We're not leading with our arms or our shoulders or our head. So everything stays steady. 3, 2, 1. And that is it for today's circuit. Go ahead and grab a sip of water if you need it. And then let's go ahead and make our way onto the ground. We're gonna do some child's pose today. We're gonna focus more on our breath here. So we're on our hands and our knees. And when you're ready, we're gonna take our knees as wide as we need to, sink into our hips, forehead, shoulder, cheek to the ground as we walk our hands forward. We're gonna do some deep breaths here. So I want us to go in through our nose, into our bellies. And exhaling through our mouth, sighing away our tension. Relaxing as we exhale. And do one more breath. And once we finish our last exhale, when we're ready, put a little bit of extra pressure on our hands, returning to our hands and our knees. And feel free to stay on the ground, or you can return to a seated or standing position. But that is going to be it for us today. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully I'll see you again next week for more class.